Right. Assalamu alaikum. So today I would like to talk about, in this short video, I would like to talk about one of the past paper questions that discusses the statistics, the knowledge of statistics and algebra. So the question says that a bag contains n white tiles and 5 black tiles. The tiles are all equal in size. A tile is drawn at a random and is replaced. A second tile is then drawn. So there are total of n white and 5 black. So let me just write for W for white. There are n number of them and none, and the black ones are 5. Find the probability that the first tile is white. So the probability of white tiles is their number divided by the total number, which is n plus 5. This is easy. Now, this is the first one, which is the number of white tiles divided by the total number of tiles in the bag. Number 2 is asking for the probability for both the first and the second first and the second tiles are white. So if the first has been drawn, that means the number of white has been reduced. So if I'm to find the probability of the second one, so the number of white tiles is going to be reduced by 1 because 1 is already removed, and as well as the total number is going to be also reduced by 1. So the probability of picking the second tile to be white, so it's n minus 1 divided by n plus 4. We call this P1 and this is P2. Now you're given that the probability of drawing 2 white tiles is 7 over 22. Show that this is true. Now, well, before that, he's asking not only for he's asking for the probability of that first and the second. When it says the first and the second, the combined probability is the multiplication of the two probabilities. So this is the first being white and this is the second being white. And this is basically, you just multiply out these two expressions here. So it's n into n minus 1 divided by n plus 5 multiplied by n plus 4. So this is the probability of both first and the second are white. Now we're given that this value, this probability of the first two tiles to be white is 7 over 22. That means this expression is equal to 7 over 22. So next, in number B, he's just telling you that this is 7 over 22, which means this expression n into n minus 1 over n plus 5 into n plus 4 is equal to 7 over 22. Show that this expression is true. To show this, we would like to write it as a quadratic equation in the form of a, in terms of n as a variable. So a n squared plus b n plus c is equal to 0. To do so, let us do the cross multiplication here. The 22 multiplied by the numerator and the 7 multiplied by the denominator. That leads us to 22 n into n minus 1 equals 7 into n plus 5 times n plus 4. We do the removal of the bracket. That leads us to write down 22 n squared, multiplying out this 2, minus 22n after you remove the bracket. And here you keep the 7 outside and you multiply out, so it's n into n, this is n squared, and n into n is 4n, and 5 into n, this is 5n, 5 into 4, this is 20. There are like terms here, you add them and then you multiply out by the 7, but I would like to bring all the terms to this side, so let us do it in one step. So it's 22n squared minus 22n. There is a 7n squared that comes here with negative, minus 7n squared, and this is 9 for plus 5, this is 9n times 7, this is 63 positive, so it comes here negative 63n, and this is 140, 7 times 20 is 140 positive, so it comes here as a negative, equals 0. Now we collect the like terms, the 22n minus 7n, this is 15n squared, and negative 22n minus 63, this is negative 85n minus 140 equals 0. So in order to bring it in this form, let us divide it all by 5, so that the first term becomes 3. This is what we want, and we'd like to check whether the other terms giving the same numbers or not. So we divide by 5, this is 3n squared. We divide by 5, this is 17n. We divide by 5, this is 28 equals 0. So this is proven. Now the second part, or C, this is number B, what we have done here. C, solve the equation, this equation, it is proven, and hence find the probability of exactly one white and exactly one black is drawn. Remember, the exactly one white is drawn from the first try is n over n plus 5. So in order to find that, we need to find n. The exactly one black is drawn, so the number of black is 5. So it's 5 divided by the total. 5 divided by n plus 5. So again, we need to find n. So let us try to find n first. So of course, this is a quadratic equation. You can solve it using the formula of a quadratic equation. But I would like to use the cross here, which you bring the first term, you factorize it in here. You take the last term, you factorize it in here. Why is it called cross? Because when you multiply out cross multiplication, the addition should give you the in-between term, and this is the only factors of this expression if it is true, if they add up to negative 17. So 3n, it could be factorized into 3n into n, 3n squared. 28, factors of 28 are 2 times 14. But if you place them here, if you write down the 14 here, this is going to be too much, because 14 times 3, this is 42. 42 is 2, is not going to add up to 17. If you put the 14 here and you put the 2 here, so it's going to be 6 and 14, they're not going to add up to 17. So let us try also 4 times 7. So 4 times 7, if you put the 7 here and the 4 here, so this is 12 and this is 7, they don't add up to 17. But if you put the 7 here and you put the 4 here, so 7 here and the 4 here, so this is 21 and this is 4. If you subtract them, you're gonna get 17. And notice that it is negative 28 that we are factorizing, so one of them has to be negative. Which one has to be negative? This is decided by the middle term. So this one has to be, because this multiplication gives negative 21, and this 4n gives 4n. When you add them, 21, negative 21n plus 4n, that gives you negative 17n, right? So these are the factors, and these are the brackets of this expression, factorizing it. So it's basically 3n plus 4 multiplied by n minus 7 is equal to 0. So it's either 3n plus 4 equals 0, which means n is equal to negative 4 over 3. And this is not acceptable because n is a number of types and should be positive. Or n minus 7 is equal to 0, which means n is equal to 7. This is a little bit, this is much better, and this is in fact a solution. Now find the probability of exactly one white and exactly one black is drawn. So one white is probability of one white, probability of one white, I write it this way, is n number of white tiles divided by the total number, which is n plus 5, and that is basically after you find a value of n, which is 7 plus 5, which is 7 over 12. And the probability of exactly one black, this is basically the number of black tiles, which are, if you remember, we have 5 black tiles, so it's 5 over the total, which is n plus 5. Now, so this is 5 over 7 plus 5, and this is 7 over 12. So this is, sorry, 5 over 12, 7 over 12. So that's it.